Guys, we got some really big rumors and people that think they have inside information on huge things that could actually pump the market. So, Mike Novogratz, the guy who runs Galaxy Digital, which is a pretty big fund slash company in crypto, said at Mainnet 2023 convention that he has the inside scoop that Bitcoin is going to have a spot ETF approved within October. Now, I'm not really sure if that's true or not, but he actually said it at the conference, so he must have some confidence in it. At least I hope he has some confidence in it. I would definitely take it with a grain of salt though, because anytime these guys said they have insider information, most of the times it does turn out to be wrong. Because I'm not really sure if anyone knows what the SEC is going to do besides politicians and the SEC himself. And Mike Novogratz, for all I know, is not currently a politician, and he is not a member of Congress. He is in the crypto field. Everyone has predicted that it's going to come within 6 months in August, and this is within that time frame. But the thing is, I think the time frame is somewhere between January and March, and that's what I would still bet on for Bitcoin ETF. That does not mean sell all your Bitcoin right now. I would keep your Bitcoin right now just in case this is true. Even if it isn't, it's probably not really going to fall that much anyways. But no, and remember, Mike Novogratz is also liquidating the FTX assets. He is the trustee, so he might be like, let's pump this Bitcoin things up so I can liquidate these FTX assets for more money. Yes, that could be it as well. And plus, Mike Novogratz owns a lot of these cryptos, so he wants the cryptos to go up himself. So he's going to be probably overly bullish. Now, he did not tell us the source of where he got these rumors from. Now, do I want a Bitcoin ETF in October? Of course I want a Bitcoin ETF in October, because that would pump the price and it would liquidate all those short sellers and people who are were betting on Bitcoin 10K, which is kind of ridiculous right now. FTX and Terra Luna only bought us down to 15K, so what can bring us down to actually 10K? The government shutting down is not going to bring us to 10K. It might bring us to like 25, maybe like 23K. But as soon as they open up, we'll probably just go back up. And the chance of government shutdown is like 70% right now, because I don't really see them working out a resolution by the end of this week. We've gone through shutdowns before though, so it's nothing critical to crypto. It is critical to those people that depend on the government for a paycheck, like Social Security, obviously, like people who actually work for the government. They're probably going to go on extended furlough, and they're not going to like that at all. But it probably won't affect Bitcoin as much as people think. It probably will affect the stock market. Pretty much. I also believe that the DXY going up to 106 is not favorable to crypto, but the last time it went down to 15,000, I'm not really sure it was because of the DXY. Probably not. It was probably just because of Terra Luna and FTX, and we haven't really been down that low ever since. So the thing is, like Mike Novogratz, Bitcoin ETF October, that could really change the tone of things. You could have big institutions actually coming into Bitcoin around that time if the ETF is actually approved. So, I would definitely make a watch on that rumor. And if you're not DCAing now, I think you should probably DCA right now, just on the off chance that rumor is true. Plus, even if Bitcoin goes down a little bit, you're not really losing out much, since the top of the next bull run is most likely going to be above $100,000. And it will probably come within the next 2 years as the Fed starts lowering these interest rates and as people gain more confidence in the economy right now. I think overall, the crypto market's going to go up towards having Europe stop raising their interest rates. The Fed signaled that they're going to maintain the high interest rates for a while, but they're probably not going to raise it some more. So there's a lot of actually stuff coming into play. But Mike Novogratz, this secret information that he somehow has, could be a doozy. Definitely would not bet on it though, but keep it in mind before you start selling. There was a $200 million hack. This is not the Huobi hack, which we'll talk about later. This is a small network called Mixin. Now, they had about $1.1 billion in total. The symbol is XIN, and they are down 12% right now, 13% right now. I think they should be down more if they just lost $200 million. Unlike Huobi, they have no idea who did the hack, and they're guessing in the dark. And if you are invested in XIN, you might just be screwed. This is kind of like a bridge type of thing. So bridges are by far the most vulnerable to actually getting hacked by a hacker. So this is very, very bad for the network. I don't think many people have heard about this because I don't really see anyone really talking about it. I guess Mixin is not a really bad coin. I mean, people are talking about Huobi losing $8 million. They just lost $200 million. They don't know where it is. And my bet is they don't have enough in the treasury to actually cover $200 million. But Huobi does actually have enough in their treasury to offset $8 million. So this is a much more serious hack, and it is one of the bigger ones on record. Like I know Ronin and a couple of others have actually gone past it in terms of complete value. But this particular hack, $200 million, hopefully it doesn't shake confidence of crypto keepers anymore. And I don't think it's actually going to force the crypto price down because people are getting more and more used to these hacks, which is bad. I mean, you really should never get used to losing all your money. But also, people haven't really heard of this network. It's not being broadcasted on crypto news all that well, but it is a serious hack for those who are involved because there is a lot of money at stake and people are going to lose a lot of money on this. Speaking of which, we got to talk about the Huobi hack. So Huobi lost $8 million. They actually said they know exactly who the hacker is, which is good news because they're saying hey, we'll give you 5% if you give 95% of the money back. If you don't, however, we'll give you 7 days to decide. If you do not, we will send the feds after you and they will ninja you because we know exactly who you are now. Does Huobi actually know who this person is? Maybe, maybe not. Is this an inside job? I doubt it because if it was an inside job, you probably just fire the guy or just arrest him. You wouldn't actually make this offer. And the thing is, Justin Sun has actually offered to cover all the losses with Huobi's treasury, which it doesn't really make any sense if you're doing an inside job to cover all the losses with your treasury. And $8 million for an exchange like Huobi is probably not very much. If I were the hacker, I would probably take the deal because 5% of $8 million is still $400,000. And while that might not be wife-changing or life-changing, it is still a good chunk of money. Come to think of it, if you are in a developing country, that would be wife-changing or life-changing, I guess. But $400,000, still a good amount of money to actually be had. I don't think this will affect the market that much. It's not a huge hack. They already know who the person is, and they are already trying to make an overture to him for him to return the money to a certain address or actually suffer the consequences. And if I were that person, if I think they knew who I was, I would definitely return the money for a $400,000 reward. And that is still a very, 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 very killer reward for Huobi, not like the $200 million hack that Mixin network just suffered. That is pretty much impossible to actually come back. Coinbase is actually one jurisdiction in Spain, and that's pretty good news. I think Coin is quite a very good investment, and I've said Coin's a very good investment for several months now. Despite the fact that the entire crypto industry is not very hot right now, and crypto stocks may not be all that hot, but Coinbase got basically approval from the Central Bank of Spain. They will be operating there with their full suite of products. And that is another decent sized market they are actually going into. So Coinbase won't be just US, they will be international. And they could be nipping at the heels of Binance soon because they are actually being legitimate in all the jurisdictions they're trying to go into, unlike Binance, which actually has legal trouble. Yes, they are still being sued by the SEC just like Binance, but I believe that Coinbase and probably Binance may actually get their dismissal from the SEC, which would land a devastating blow to the SEC and all their hopes of crypto regulation. Probably won't stop Gary Gensler because he says no court action is going to get him to believe that crypto is legitimate and it's not full of fraud, which it obviously is, but it may not be within the SEC's jurisdiction for long to actually prosecute that fraud, and we can all celebrate that point, unless you're on Gary Gensler's side, and I don't think there's that many people on Gensler's side. So Coinbase and Binance might be delivering the SEC a very, very fatal blow. Coinbase itself is expanding internationally. Binance is getting new jurisdictions. And I think the pressure in the US looking at outside countries is going to be big enough, soon enough, to actually pressure the SEC to cave in and stop suing everyone. So hopefully that's actually what happens in the next year or two. I don't think any of these anti-crypto army bills are actually passing. I do actually think these groups are actually losing popularity in Congress and in government because there's a lot more stuff going on with like crypto donations, and politicians definitely want that money. And plus, like, I think the Democrats are going to realize that standing against crypto isn't a winning political position. They have winning political positions among the populace in many other areas, but this is one they're actually going to lose on. And I actually think the population that will vote on this issue is actually greater than they actually think. Once they see some of the political costs and consequences, I think they will come around. It's only going to be like Elizabeth Warren, Gary Gensler, and Brad Sherman. And Gary Gensler might actually get fired. So I don't really think they're going to have too much of a leg to actually stand on when it comes to being anti-crypto. So that's actually very, very good news. But obviously, the biggest shock came today with Mike Novogratz announcing that he has somehow inside information leaked during a major conference, which everyone will actually know about this morning, that Bitcoin's ETF is coming in October. And I really, really do hope that Mike Novogratz is not just spewing hot air and telling the truth. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.